Now, Minister Bheki Cele has made several other key appointments. Our reporter Michael Appel was at the media briefing earlier. He has the details. So let's go back a little bit, Michael. First of all, we see this name, which is not very familiar to most of us, Anthony Jacobs. What do we know about his experience in the force?
Joanne, well, yeah, it's a name that's not known to a lot of people. It cropped up in the media today, courtesy of Barry Bateman from Eyewitness News, when it emerged that the National Police Commissioner, knowingly or unknowingly, may have gotten involved to see and try and squash some internal complaints that have been laid against Anthony Jacobs, who, as we speak now, is the new head of crime intelligence, a position that has not been filled in our police service for at least the last 7 years, with Richard Mgluli vacating that seat, costing the taxpayer 12.2 million rand. But I'd like to bring in the National Police Commissioner, General Khehla Sitole, at the moment. General, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
How critical are these 4 appointments to the fight against crime? Let's start there.
Yeah, I think firstly, crime is actually the core business and is the reason for the existence of the South African Police Service. I would start with crime intelligence. It actually lays the foundation for the crime fighting strategy, for combating as well as investigation. Without crime intelligence, you lose the battle against the criminals. But also, it's one of the divisions that should make sure that we have all the information against the criminals and we know the modus operandi and we're able to counter. So that's how critical it carries the whole policing that is strategy. I would then come to crime detection. I'm sure the current outcry in the country is about the effective investigation of cases. Each and every victim is expecting that his or her case should be effectively investigated. The Divisional Commissioner for Crime Detection is just for that, and then to make sure that there's direction in the investigation. And we also have all the complainants cases fully investigated and that they're satisfied. You also know that we've got profile cases, other cases like Senzo Meyiwa's case, and then we have come up with a cold case strategy which must deal with those effectively. So this appointment is key to that. Then I have the Provincial Commissioner Free State. As National Commissioner, I have to make sure that there's effective policing in all the 9 provinces, so that then you've got an effective national policing in the country. So a provincial commissioner sees to it that there's effective policing in a province, and also make sure that this particular provincial commissioner work hand in glove with the provincial government to make sure that in that province there's social stability and there's economic growth stemming from the safe and secure and crime-free environment that is created. The last one is Protection and Security Divisional Commissioner. Protection and security deals with a national security. Firstly, there's critical functions there, there's national key points. There's the protection and security of ministers, and there's also including the president. So it's a highly national security issue. You can't do without that particular function, and you need that command.
General, let me ask you about Major General Anthony Jacobs, the new crime intelligence head, who's now Lieutenant General Jacobs. Did you do anything unprocedural when it comes to his appointment or looking to quash those internal complaints?
Yeah, what I can first say to you is that Lieutenant General Jacobs has undergone or has gone through the same processes as all the appointments which has been announced today. He has also been subject to the same national instruction, because there's a national instruction that guides the appointments in the service. And he also conformed and complied with the regulations that are governing, that is, senior appointments in the organization. But what has been related to about the situation in the Western Cape, there's an intervention which I have instructed myself as National Commissioner after the Provincial Commissioner has brought that to my attention. And it's a top management working relations within the Western Cape, which is inclusive of everyone and does not exclude Lieutenant General Jacobs as when he was a Major General. But nothing unprocedural has actually happened.
General, let me ask you lastly, there's been a change at the helm of the police portfolio. You've got, or the police ministry, you've got General Bheki Cele, who's come in after Fikile Mbalula's vacated in the latest reshuffle. Has that made your job easier or more difficult?
Yeah, look, I think my job has never been difficult, and I'll tell you the one thing that makes it easy. I am a person who likes to venture into strategic intervention, and I like strategic direction. And I define my role and position within the strategic and the policy framework. And when I started working with Minister Mbalula, I pronounced the turnaround vision for the country. And the turnaround vision defined his place. And it actually made provision for the policy direction platform within the vision itself. Now, when the current Minister Cele came in, I think the difference has not been there. What one can say as a little difference is the fact that the current minister is also from a background of policing. When I actually relate on command and control, and I also relate on operational direction, he understands exactly what it means, and he also further understands what policy direction means. But with both ministers, they pronounce on policy direction and I operationalize. I took my place and they took their places, and I put strategies in place and define their roles within the strategies.
General Khehla Sitole, thank you so much. That's the National Police Commissioner, General Khehla Sitole. And Joe, just to add, of those 4 appointments, the minimum amount of experience that each individual has is 23 years. So these are career police officers that have been elevated to very key positions within the South African Police Service today. Joe.